You're watching BCTV. We're all about Brantford. You're watching BCTV, Brantford Government Television, a service of Brantford Community Television. This program is brought to you in part through the support of the town of Brantford.
This is Dennis Flanagan speaking, moderator for the R.T.M. I'd like to call this meeting to order. A remote meeting, special meeting in the R.T.M. will be convened on Wednesday, April 22nd, 2020 at 7 p.m. to consider and act upon the following matters.
Here, what's the meeting ID?
And item number 1, review of the governor's executive order 7B regarding conducting remote meetings. Members of the public may attend the meeting via telephone or either by technology by Zoom hyperlink. Choose your device option below and you will be prompted to enter the meeting ID, which is 982-160-566. And password would be 953358. There is no participant ID when asked. Press the pound sign to enter the remote meeting. The meeting will also be live streamed by BCTV on channel Comcast Channel 20 and BCTV Facebook Live. Some of the rules of the Executive Order 7B, everybody has to identify themselves when they speak. Public who want to speak also have to identify themselves every time they speak, and they also have to state their address, but they only have to state the address once. All items on the call will require a roll call vote, so bear with it for the clerk. She's going to have to be taking all this information down. Any questions? Okay. If not, Representative Leach we'll have the roll call.
Are you on? Yes.
Well, I'm on there.
Yeah.
Donna, were you muted? Donna?
Okay, I'm unmuted now.
Okay, we're going to have the roll call now, Donna.
Yeah.
Okay, just probably a
clerk
reminder
will do
for everyone to mute themselves so we can hear. Okay, Representative Adelman.
Dan Adelman present.
Representative Alphone.
Representative Alphone present.
Representative Anderson.
Representative Anderson is present.
Representative Austin.
Representative Austin, present.
Representative Black. Representative Brocket.
Representative Brocket, present.
Representative Conklin.
Representative Conklin is present.
Representative Everton.
Representative Everson.
Remote meeting agenda for Wednesday. Here we are.
Representative Erlanger.
Representative Erlanger present.
Representative Flanagan.
Present.
Representative Greenberg.
Representative Greenberg, present.
Okay. You're gonna,
Representative Haken.
Representative Haken, present.
Representative Healy.
Representative Healy present.
Representative Henschel.
Representative Henschel, present.
Representative Hines. Representative Ingraham.
Representative Ingraham, present.
Representative Jackson.
Representative Jackson present.
Turn that off.
Representative Kelly. Representative Ray Leach, present. Representative Lombardi.
Representative Lombardi present.
Representative Preet.
Representative Preet is present.
Representative Ricchio,
Representative Ricchio is present.
Representative Sember. Representative Sires,
Representative Sires, present.
Representative Sumro,
Representative Sumro is present.
Representative Stepanik, no.
Jim, please repeat that. This is Lisa Arpin. You were muted.
Representative Stepanik present.
Okay, thank you. Representative Sullivan,
Representative Sullivan is here.
Representative Torelli, Representative Toohill,
This is Representative Frank Toohill, present.
Representative Wells. Okay, just to make sure I have it right, in case someone was muted, Representative Black is not here. Representative Hines is not here. Representative Kelly is not here.
Representative Black here.
Oh, good. Okay, thank you. Okay, Representative Sember is not here. And Representative Torelli is not here. Representative Wells is not here, correct? Okay.
Clerk Donna, this is Dennis Flanagan. Ex officio would be Town Clerk Lisa Arpin. I'm not sure if Selectman Cosgrove is here also.
Selectman Cosgrove's here.
Selectman Cosgrove's here. And how about Selectman Dunbar? Is Selectman Dunbar here?
Dunbar here.
Selectman Dunbar's
Okay.
here.
Thank you.
All right, is there anybody else we missed? Okay. Moving on to item 3. The following items will be re-referred to a future meeting. A, to consider and if appropriate, adopt a uniform procedure for ordinance enforcement pursuant to town meeting rules A 236-4-19D. B, to consider and appropriate, adopt a blight ordinance. C, to consider and if appropriate, approve an appropriation in the Coastal Resilience Fund for the purchase of a property and structure located at 17 Creek Court and act on a resolution. Item D, citizen petitions, an examination of the possible improprieties occurring during Costco inland wetlands application and independent peer review, along with the examination of the investigation into the matter promised by the first selectman. 2, consider and the possibility of public health hazards emanating from the demolition debris piles at the former Atlantic Wire site, and an examination of the role of the town of Branford in the removal of an earthen berm by the Branford Land Trust at Jarvis Creek and the potential safety hazards resulting from the flooding of Route 146, and an examination of the 77-acre Tabor property in its current use and development of the master plan, and an examination of the past and present living conditions at Parkside Village Housing Complex and its oversight by the Branford Housing Authority. These items will be a procedural item for the RTM for a re-referral. I also like to make an indication that I do have some letters from the previous RTM meeting from Mr. Wayne Cook, which I sent him an email today indicating that I would take these up at the May meeting and read the letters and also render my opinion. So at this point, Representative Ingraham?
I'll make the motion that we refer all the items that the moderator has just spoken to. This is Representative Ingraham. Representative Brocket, I'll second that.
Okay, there is a motion on the floor and a second. Is there any further discussion from the RTM on re-referring all the items that I just read?
This is Representative Chris Sullivan. Jamie, you can go first.
I just want to ask, BCTV is asking if everybody that is not speaking to mute your mic and unmute it yourself when you're going to speak. They're getting a lot of background noise. Thank you.
Representative Sullivan?
Yeah, Mr. Meyer, thank you. This is Representative Chris Sullivan. I just had a question about the motion. It's just to a future meeting. I know there'd been discussions about doing it at the June meeting. Do we want to leave it open-ended as just a future meeting?
Actually, my intentions at this point, Mr. Representative Sullivan, this is Dennis Flanagan, is to deal with it at the June meeting. Obviously, the May meeting will be our budget meeting. We'll have enough work at that point. So I'll put it on the call for the June meeting, and we'll take it from there.
This is Chris Sullivan. Thank you, Mr. Moderator.
Okay. Any further discussion on this item for re-referral?
Mr. Moderator, this is Representative Brocket. Would you include in your motion to re-refer it to the June meeting, please?
Okay.
I'll rescind my motion, and this is Representative Ingraham. I'll rescind my motion and restate it that the items under item 3 will be re-referred to the June 2020 meeting.
Thank you, Representative Ingraham. This is Representative Brocket. I'll second that motion.
Okay, this is Dennis Flanagan. Is there any further discussion on this item for re-referral? Hearing none, the clerk will this will be a roll call vote. Voting yes, you're in favor of the re-referral.
I have a comment.
2, if you're against.
I have a comment.
This is the procedural item only when Mr. Cook and only the R.T.M. is allowed to speak.
Well, then I have a couple questions because I have a couple questions.
Dennis Flanagan here. This is not allowed, Wayne. This is just a procedural item for the re-referral.
I don't see how you can. No, here's the point. I don't see how you can move around all petitions and letters and everything, and then when the person who sends the letters, when the person who has at least put in one petition has a question, what you're doing, you say you can't answer a question. You can't ask a question. I mean, I'm not talking about the procedure. I'm talking about these petitions and my letters.
Again, the motion by Dennis Flanagan. Again, Mr. Cook, the motion is
not fair. This is not fair. This is not fair. This is what you do all the time. You play games with these things. You're not being fair. I want to know what happens to these petitions. You say, well, it's re-referred to the June 10th meeting. What does that mean? Because what I was going to ask is that these petition items are not heard until this format of Zoom and all that is no longer in play, because a lot of people want to show up. A lot of people have visual aids, and we were going to tape these with people there so that the community could see what these issues were about. So I don't think there's anything wrong with me submitting that, as a request for how these are handled.
Mr. Moderator, this is Lisa Arpin. May I speak, please?
Yes, go ahead, Lisa Arpin. Dennis Flanagan, go ahead.
Wayne, to speak to your comment, this is a special meeting, so these items are specially delineated on this agenda. We are not ignoring your items. It's just that they are not being addressed at this special meeting at this time. That's all. Thank you.
I get that, Lisa. My question is, when you do address them, when will it be? Will we have notice? Can it be after this, social distancing is no longer in play? Because people want to show up and be engaged here. They don't want to have, 60 people looking in at the R.T.M. and trying to make their presentation. That's what I'm asking. And the only reason I'm asking is because, let's face it, we're all under such unusual circumstances.
All right, Dennis Flanagan.
Absolutely.
Wayne, my intentions is to have this on the June meeting. The subcommittees, after we finish the budget in May, will start to have their meetings on this, Wayne, and it'll be posted. And you can more than welcome go on that if it's still Zoom at that point to hear what the
that's my concern. That's what we do not want.
Well,
that's what we do not want.
Dennis Flanagan, I can't control that, Wayne.
No, we do not want subcommittee meetings on Zoom to handle these citizens' petitions, because there's going to be too many people interested, and they want to present their, their visual aids, and that's what we're asking.
Well,
Wayne, Lisa Arpin, you are asking for an awful lot. I mean, we don't have a ball about the future of how we're holding meetings. This is the best we can do right now.
No,
Mr. Moderator, Jamie Cosgrove, can I make a comment, even though this is, please? Jamie Cosgrove speaking. Obviously, it's the RTM's decision when to take up their business. However, I would just make the comment under petition items. I agree that those probably are best discussed when we're able to have in-person meetings rather than through this format, which is cumbersome at best in terms of trying to discuss such items. Again, while I recognize it's the decision of the RTM when to take up their matters for business, however, I would just have a comment that petition items probably are best addressed under when there's a relaxation of the executive orders that are in place currently. Thank you.
Mr. Moderator, Representative Ingraham.
Okay, Representative Ingraham.
If there's such a concern, Mr. Cook, are you asking us to remove these items from the call so that you can re-put them on when we know?
I thought of that. I thought of that, but my concern is if you remove them, are they removed until the entire session is over? Or can they come back on at some point when, say, the social distancing is no longer an issue?
Mr. Cook, by interpretation of the rules right now, if you pull them, then no. If we take no action, then they're gone for the session.
Well, they're not all mine, as you know. One of them is mine. 4 of them belong to somebody else. So I can't speak for them.
And the public can also request to those committee chairs that their item not be heard. It'll be up to the RTM to take no action if they keep not wanting it heard. We don't know what's happening with this virus, and we've had very productive meetings. But why don't you talk to the group? If they want to rescind them and put them back when we know everybody's in the room, it'll make it a lot easier on our call.
Yeah, well, for example, I know one fellow on the, and this is important to say this, on the Parkside Village wants to give like an hour presentation of all kinds of evidence that he's accumulated. Now, you say, well, that's kind of, over the top. Well, he doesn't think so. So are we going to sit here with Zoom and let him do that for the whole time and actually absorb what he's saying? And the other thing is, let's be honest about this, and I appreciate the first Selectman's comments. The reality is that we want the community to know what's going on with these 5 issues because we think they're important. Obviously, 60 other people did. So I guess my point that I'm being made to you is, we've got to get it out there in a format that they will see, not Zoom. How many people are going to go on Zoom? Maybe some.
Mr. Moderator, it's Dan Adelman. May I opine here for a moment?
Go ahead,
Mr. Cook, there's a global pandemic, and you're asking us to prognosticate against the future in light of these uncertain times. It's impossible to do. The moderator has laid out the rules, and we can't predict when this is going to end, so the discussion should be over.
You really think you're telling me something? You really do, huh?
I agree. I concur.
No, that's obnoxious. That the global pandemic, and what we're saying is, and it's even the first Selectman echoed, that it's not the format to do citizens petitions under Zoom. That's the point.
Well, at Dennis Flanagan here and Wayne, at this point, the motion is for re-referral of the items. So should you decide you want to change that?
Okay, so if I got it right, so if we send a letter, each of us, or a letter or a note to the town clerk saying we would like these, pulled until, such time that people are actually at meetings, then they can go on whenever we say and the moderator agrees. Is that what I'm hearing?
Dennis Flanagan here. Yeah, I don't have a problem with that, Wayne, but right now the motion is to re-refer.
Okay. Well, that's fair. That's fair. I'll get the other 4 to do that. And
that's I believe that's what Mr. Cosgrove was trying to say.
No, Mr. Cosgrove said it very well. I understood what he was saying, but where I was getting pushed back was that, in terms of if you take them off, they may not get back on unless all 5 of the sponsors request it.
Okay.
But now we're in agreement that if all 5 sponsors request it, then they can be put on at any time after this. And I'm so glad that Mr. Adelman told me this, after this pandemic is no longer in play.
Dennis Flanagan here. Okay, hearing no further comments on this item, the roll call, the town clerk will take a roll call on this. The motion is to re-refer these items.
Representative Adelman,
Representative Adelman, yes.
Representative Alphone,
Representative Alphone, yes.
Representative Anderson,
Representative Anderson, yes.
Representative Austin,
Representative Austin, yes.
Representative Black,
Representative Black, yes.
Representative Brocket,
Representative Brocket, yes.
Representative Conklin,
Representative Conklin, yes.
Representative Everson,
Representative Everson, yes.
Representative Erlanger,
Representative Erlanger, yes.
Representative Greenberg,
Representative Greenberg, yes.
Representative Haken,
Representative Haken, yes.
Representative Healy,
Representative Healy, yes.
Representative Henschel,
Representative Henschel, yes.
Representative Hines. Oh, sorry. Representative Ingraham,
Representative Ingraham, yes.
Representative Jackson,
Representative Jackson, yes.
Representative Leach, yes. Representative Lombardi,
Representative Lombardi, yes.
Representative Preet,
Representative Preet, yes.
Representative Ricchio. Representative Ricchio is here, correct?
Representative Ricchio, yes.
Thank you. Representative Sires,
Representative Sires, yes.
Representative Sumro, I know she's here.
I see her.
I'm here, yes. Representative Sumro is yes.
Thank you.
Sorry, I was on mute.
Representative Stepanek, I know he's here too.
Representative Stepanek, yes.
Thank you. Representative Sullivan,
Representative Sullivan, yes.
Representative Toohill,
Representative Toohill, are you here?
Muted.
I thought he was here.
Yeah, no, I'm here. You have to unmute me. Yes, Frank Toohill, First District votes yes.
Thank you. Okay,
Okay,
that's it.
the motion has been approved to re-refer this item. Item number 4, to consider and if appropriate, approve a sanitary sewer assessment easement and subdivision agreement for the property at 497 East Main Street. Representative Alphone?
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. This was heard by the Admin Services Committee last night in our special committee meeting. This item is a request for an acceptance of a sanitary sewer easement for a portion of 497 East Main Street. The sewer was installed in the 1970s. When it was installed, it was without the benefit of an easement at that time. A land transaction has prompted the owner to grant the town an easement at this current time. The easement and subordination agreement have been reviewed and approved by the Water Pollution Control Authority, and this was approved unanimously in committee with a 7-0 vote. I'd put that forward to the full RTM.
Motion on the floor to approve this item. Is there any discussion from the RTM? Is there any Discussion from the public.
Mr. Moderator,
Okay.
this is Representative Riccio. Just a procedural thing for everybody. When you want to unmute yourself, you just take your cursor, you hover over your profile or your face, and just tap unmute. And then when you're done voting, just keep your cursor over your face, and a mute button will come up, and then you can mute yourself. That might help things move along faster. Thank you.
Mr. Moderator, I would like to add to that. So we do have some folks, this is Lisa Arpin. We do have some people connected by their telephone. So there's a different procedure for that. It would be *6 on your telephone keypad. That would mute or unmute you, and then repeat *6 to do the opposite. So mute, unmute is *6. Thank you.
Okay, this is Dennis Flanagan again. Will the clerk take the roll call vote on this, please? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no.
So I am doing a roll call, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Representative Adelman,
Representative Adelman, yes.
Representative Alphone,
Representative Alphone, yes.
Representative Anderson,
Representative Anderson, yes.
Representative Austin,
Representative Austin, yes.
Representative Black,
Representative Black, yes.
Representative Brocket,
Representative Brocket, yes.
Representative Conklin,
Representative Conklin, yes.
Representative Everson,
Representative Everson, yes.
Representative Erlanger,
Representative Erlanger, yes.
Representative Greenberg,
Representative Greenberg, yes.
Representative Haken,
Representative Haken, yes.
Representative Healy,
Representative Healy, yes.
Representative Henschel,
Representative Henschel, yes.
Representative Ingraham,
Representative Ingraham, yes.
Representative Jackson,
Representative Jackson, yes.
Representative Leach, yes. Representative Lombardi,
Representative Lombardi, yes.
Representative Preet,
Representative Preet, yes.
Representative Riccio,
Representative Riccio, yes.
Representative Sires,
Representative Sires, yes.
Representative Sumro,
Representative Sumro, yes.
Representative Stepanek,
Representative Stepanek, yes.
Representative Sullivan,
This is Representative Sullivan, yes.
Representative Toohill.
Yes. Representative Frank Toohill, yes.
Thank you.
This is Dennis Flanagan. So was that a unanimous vote? Donna, was that a unit? Was that a? roll
Yes,
call?
that was a unanimous vote.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Dennis Flanagan again. Item number 5, to consider and appropriate, adopt a resolution on tax deferment due to COVID-19 crisis. Representative Alphone.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Just a procedural question. Do we have to make a motion to waive the full reading of the resolution?
Yes. Dennis Flanagan, yes.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to waive the full reading of the resolution.
Motion on the floor to waive the reading of the full resolution. Is there a second?
Representative Brocket will second that.
Okay. Dennis Flanagan again. All those in favor of waiving the reading of the full resolution? This will be a roll call vote. The clerk will take a roll call vote.
I feel like the Senate.
Okay, here we go. Representative Adelman,
Representative Adelman, yes.
Representative Alphone,
Representative Alphone, yes.
Representative Anderson,
Representative Anderson, yes.
Representative Austin,
Representative Austin, yes.
Representative Black,
Representative Black, yes.
Representative Brocket,
Representative Brocket, yes.
Representative Conklin,
Representative Conklin, yes.
Representative Everson,
Representative Everson, yes.
Representative Erlanger,
Representative Erlanger, yes.
Representative Greenberg,
Representative Greenberg, yes.
Representative Haken,
Representative Haken, yes.
Representative Healy,
Representative Healy, yes.
Representative Henschel,
Representative Henschel, yes.
Representative Ingraham,
Representative Ingraham, yes.
Representative Jackson,
Representative Jackson, yes.
Representative Leach, yes. Representative Lombardi,
Representative Lombardi, yes.
Representative Preet,
Representative Preet, yes.
Representative Ricchio,
Representative Ricchio, yes.
Representative Sires,
Representative Sires, yes.
Representative Sumro,
Representative Sumro, yes.
Representative Stepanik,
Representative Stepanik, yes.
Representative Sullivan,
This is Representative Sullivan, yes.
Representative Toohill,
Representative Frank Toohill, yes.
Okay, that was unanimous vote.
Okay. Dennis Flanagan, again, Representative Alphone.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Admin Services heard this last night in our special admin meeting. This is a tax deferment program under the Governor's Executive Order 7S. It is probably better described as a tax extension grace period for 90 days. The grace period starts on tax bills due between March 10th and July 1st of 2020 and would extend the due date by 90 days without any penalties or late fees. It would only apply to tax bills paid by property owners who directly pay to the town. This would not apply to any homeowners who pay their taxes through an escrow account with their mortgage company. This was approved in committee unanimously with a 7-0 vote, and I put that forward to the full RTM.
Okay, Dennis Flanagan, there's a motion to approve this item. Is there any discussion from the RTM?
Yes, Mr. Moderator, Representative Brocket here. I have two questions. I missed some of this conversation last night, so if it's duplicative, I apologize. But when the tax collector sends out notices, will there be something in that notice that they can defer? That's my first question. And the second question is, will that notice also contain a message that the deferment only lasts for 90 days and they don't get the extra 30 days? We had this discussion in a caucus earlier. In other words, it would go till October 1st, but there would be no grace period beyond October 1st. Thank you. Those are my questions. I think they're probably directed to the first selectman. Thank you.
Representative Brocket, this is Representative Alphone. The first selectman can correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe we touched on this last night at our admin services meeting, and the tax collector was working on something that she could add to the tax bills, an additional write-up that would explain the program to everybody. I'm not sure how it would work retroactively for bills that went out already, because the program starts on March 10th. But I know she was on top of getting that information out there to taxpayers.
Thank you, Representative
Representative Adelman here.
Go ahead.
Representative Adelman here. I think that tax collector Brooks indicated that she's taking bids on some inserts for the extension and has not gotten quotes for prices back.
Dennis Flanagan here.
Representative Abraham.
You're correct.
Who cares?
Any other further discussion from the RTM? Is there any discussion from the public? Okay, hearing none, this will be a roll call vote also. All those in favor vote yes, all those against vote no.
Okay, Representative Adelman,
Representative Adelman, wholeheartedly yes.
Representative Alphone,
Representative Alphone, yes.
Representative Anderson,
Representative Anderson, yes.
Representative Black. Oh,
Representative
sorry,
Black, yes.
Representative Austin, sorry.
I thought, that time I was trying to be ready and keep track of who was right before me.
Sorry, Peter.
Representative Austin, yes.
Representative Black, it's all yours.
Representative Black, yes.
Representative Brocket,
Representative Brocket, yes.
Representative Conklin,
Representative Conklin, yes.
Representative Everson,
Representative Everson, yes.
Representative Erlanger,
Representative Erlanger, yes.
Representative Greenberg,
Representative Greenberg, yes.
Representative Haken,
Representative Haken, yes.
Representative Healy,
Representative Healy, no.
Representative Hensel,
Representative Henschel, yes.
Representative Ingraham,
Representative Ingraham, yes.
Representative Jackson,
Representative Jackson, yes.
Representative Leach, yes. Representative Lombardi,
Representative Lombardi, yes.
Representative Preet,
Representative Preet, yes.
Representative Ricchio,
Representative Ricchio, yes.
Representative Sires,
Representative Sires, yes.
Representative Sumro, Representative Sumro,
Representative Sumro, yes.
Representative Stepanek,
Representative Stepanek, yes.
Representative Sullivan,
This is Representative Sullivan, yes.
Representative Toohill,
Representative Frank Toohill, yes. And also to inform the clerk, I believe that Representative Sember joined the RTM at this point.
Hi. Yes, can you hear me?
okay.
Can you
hi.
hear me? Hi, sorry.
Yes.
Yep, Representative Sember's here.
So
Sorry
it
about
is
that. I thought it was at 8.
Okay, so do you have a vote on this item? Or you just came in just now?
I just came in just now.
Okay, so how do I handle that? What, just wait till the next item?
Well, you can,
She can
Dennis
abstain.
Flanagan here, Dennis Flanagan here, did Representative Semper, did she hear the item we're discussing?
No, I did not.
All right, so she would just, there would be no.
Just wait till the next item, okay.
you
Okay,
can
so
mark
there
her
was,
present. You can mark her present, though,
yes, I did.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, Representative Leach, what was the vote on that? What was the count?
Okay, so there's one no, and let's see, I have to count up how many we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 26 yes, 25 yes, 1 no.
Okay, Dennis Flanagan here, the item passes. Item number 6, to receive communications with respect to and to consider upon and act upon the following resolution entitled, Resolution with respect to the authorization, issuance, and sale of not exceeding 6.8 million Town of Brantford general obligation refunding bonds, authorizing combining into one issue and making determinations with the refunding bonds and other authorized but unused bonds of the town, and authorizing agreements for the investment of refunding escrow and its reinvestment over its term. The full text of this resolution is attached and is on file in the office of the town clerk. Representative Black,
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Representative Black here. First, before we address this item, I'd make a motion that we waive the reading of the full bond resolution for this item, and we have a number of other bonding items as well. So to save us time with this roll call vote, my motion will be to waive the full reading of the bond resolutions for number 6, number 9, number 10, number 11, and number 12. And I'll look for a second for that motion.
This is Representative Sullivan. I would second that.
Okay, Dennis Flanagan here. There's been a motion on the floor to waive the reading of the resolution. Item number 6, 9, 10, 11, and 12, and it's been seconded. Any discussion from the RTM?
This is Representative Sullivan. I just want to thank Representative Black for his thoughtful motion.
Hearing no further discussion, we'll have a roll call vote on it.
Okay. Representative Adelman,
Representative Adelman, yes.
Representative Alphone,
Representative Alphone, yes.
Representative Anderson,
Representative Anderson, yes.
Representative Austin,
Representative Austin, yes.
Representative Black,
Representative Black, yes.
Representative Brocket,
Representative Brocket, yes.
Representative Conklin,
Representative Conklin, yes.
Representative Everson,
Representative Everson, yes.
Representative Erlanger,
Representative Erlanger, yes.
Representative Greenberg,
Representative Greenberg, yes.
Representative Haken,
Representative Haken, yes.
Find out what his reason was. Find out.
Representative Healy,
Yes. Representative Healy, yes.
Representative Henschel,
Representative Henschel, yes.
Representative Ingraham,
Representative Ingraham, yes.
Representative Jackson,
Representative Jackson, yes.
Representative Leach, yes. Representative Lombardi,
Representative Lombardi, yes.
Representative Preet,
Representative Preet, yes.
Representative Ricchio,
Representative Ricchio, yes.
Representative Sember,
Representative Sember, yes.
Representative Sires,
Representative Sires, yes.
Representative Sumro,
Representative Sumro, yes.
Representative Stepanik,
Stepanik, yes.
Representative Sullivan,
This is Representative Sullivan, yes.
Representative Toohill,
Representative Frank Toohill, yes. And also, I just received a text. Representative Chris Hines has also joined us now.
Okay, will he be voting on this item?
You on the line,
No,
Chris?
we'll wait for the next one.
Okay, let me just write 7:45. Okay, the vote was unanimous.
Okay, the motion carries to waive the reading of those items that we indicated, item 6, 9, 10, 11, 12. Representative Black.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Okay, this item, 6.8 million, it's clean water fund bonds that we issued some time ago for at a interest rate of 2%. The last ones run out in 6 years. Talking to Jim today, I believe the amount owed is actually something like 6 million at this point. This is refunding for a lower interest rate. That the interest that we may be able to get by refinancing may be less than 2%. For those who follow the municipal bond market, it's been in some turmoil, but the Federal Reserve has stepped in and started buying municipal bonds. Obviously, Jim will only refinance this if the total package results in a net savings to the town, but he's expecting that it will. And so as a committee, we met on this last Tuesday. April 7th and voted 5-0 in favor. So I put that in the form of a motion.
Motion on the floor,
This is Representative Erlanger. I'll second that motion.
and Dennis Flanagan's been seconded. Any discussion from members of the RTM? Hearing none. Any discussion from the public?
Yes, Mr. Moderator, Wayne Cook.
Go ahead, Wayne.
Relatively quick comment. I made this same comment at the Ways and Means Committee. And in a general sense, obviously, we're looking at, the bonding, the town and all that. I would urge very strongly that the RTM look into the fund balance and the insurance balance, which I think puts about $45 million out there that is, basically sitting there. And I know it's probably accruing interest or whatever, but I sent a letter to the Board of Finance and I asked them, through the finance director to explain this to the community, and they just ignored it. I didn't even send it. And the reception at the Ways and Means was okay, but, and Mr. Finch explained somewhat, but I think this is a very critical issue. Like, why do we have $45 million sitting there? And at the same time, we're issuing bonds, and is there a much lower number that we could be using, for fund balance, which people say there are, or there is, and we're not doing. So I would urge the RTM at some point, sooner rather than later, to take a hard look at that and be able to explain it to taxpayers why this is going on. Thank you.
Dennis Flanagan here. Is there any other comment from the public on this item? Hearing none, this will be a roll call vote also. All those in voting in favor will signify by saying aye. All those against will signify by saying no.
Okay. Representative Adelman.
Representative Adelman, yes.
Representative Alphone.
Representative Alphone, yes.
Representative Anderson.
Representative Anderson, yes.
Representative Austin.
Representative Austin, yes.
Representative Black.
Representative Black, yes.
Representative Brocket.
Representative Brocket, yes.
Representative Conklin.
Representative Conklin, yes.
Representative Everson.
Representative Everson, yes.
Representative Erlanger.
Representative Erlanger, yes.
Representative Greenberg.
Representative Greenberg, yes.
Representative Haken.
Representative Haken, yes.
Representative Healy.
Representative Healy, yes.
Representative Henschel.
Representative Henschel, yes.
Representative Hines.
Representative Hines, yes.
Representative Ingraham.
Representative Ingraham, yes.
Representative Jackson.
Representative Jackson, yes.
Representative Leach, yes. Representative Lombardi.
Representative Lombardi, yes.
Representative Preet.
Madam Secretary, I'm going to be hearing your voice in my sleep
I
tonight.
know. And I'm going to be saying your names in my sleep.
Representative, yes.
Okay, Representative Riccio.
Representative Riccio, yes.
Representative Sember.
Representative Sember, yes.
Representative Sires.
Representative Sires, yes.
Representative Sumro.
Representative Sumro, yes.
Representative Stepanek.
Representative Stepanek, yes.
Representative Sullivan.
This is Representative Sullivan, yes.
Representative Toohill.
Representative Frank Toohill, yes.
Thank you, and that was a unanimous vote.
Okay, thank you. The item passes. Item number 7 on the call, to consider and if appropriate, approve a request from the Board of Police Commissioners for the following budget transfer. From regular salaries, $15,905 to furniture, $15,905. Representative Conklin.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Unfortunately, we did not have a meeting to hear this, so I have to first move that we waive Rule 441 so that we can address it this evening.
Dennis Flanagan here. Motion has been made to waive Rule 441. Is there a second?
Representative Ingraham, I'll make that motion. Second.
Seconded by Representative Ingraham. Dennis Flanagan here. Oh. Any discussion on waiving Rule 441 from the RTM? Hearing none. All those in favor, this will be a roll call vote of waiving Rule 441.
Okay, I am so sorry to do this to you, but Representative Adelman,
Representative Adelman, yes.
Representative Alphone,
Representative Alphone, yes.
Representative Anderson,
Representative Anderson, yes.
Representative Austin,
Representative Austin, yes.
Representative Black,
Representative Black, yes.
Representative Brocket,
Representative Brocket, yes.
Representative Conklin,
Representative Conklin, yes.
Representative Everson,
Representative Everson, yes.
Representative Erlanger,
Representative Erlanger, yes.
Representative Greenberg,
Representative Greenberg, yes.
Representative Haken,
Representative Haken, yes.
Representative Healy,
Representative Healy, yes.
Representative Henschel,
Representative Henschel, yes.
Representative Hines,
Representative Hines, yes.
Representative Ingraham,
Representative Ingraham, yes.
Representative Jackson,
Representative Jackson, yes.
Representative Leach, yes. Representative Lombardi,
Representative Lombardi, yes.
Representative Preet,
Representative Preet, yes.
Representative Ricchio,
Representative Ricchio, yes.
Representative Sember,
Representative Sember, yes.
Representative Sires,
Representative Sires, yes.
Representative Sumro,
Representative Sumro, yes.
Representative Stepanik,
Representative Stepanik, yes.
Representative Sullivan,
This is Representative Sullivan, yes.
Representative Toohill.
Representative Frank Toohill, yes.
Okay, unanimous.
Unanimous. The motion to waive Rule 441 has been approved. Representative Conklin?
Okay, thank you again, and I do apologize to everyone on the RTM for making you have an extra vote. But this is an intra-budget within this fiscal year. In the police budget, moving $15,905 from their regular salaries to allow the chief to finally buy furniture. Representative Stepanik could vouch for the fact that the furniture being replaced is very old. It came over from the old police station 25 years ago, and I believe it was donated furniture even before that. So this would allow the chief to go ahead and write the purchase order. He'd been waiting 6 to 8 weeks. So I would put it in the form of a motion that we approve the transfer of $15,905.
I'll second that motion. Representative Brockett.
Dennis Flanagan here. Motion to approve has been seconded. Any discussion by the RTM?
This is Representative Sullivan. I have a question about the motion for the item. I'm wondering through you, Mr. Moderator, to Representative Conklin, have these funds already been spent, do you know?
They have not.
Thank you. This is Representative Sullivan.
Mr. Moderator, Mr. Ricchio, I just want to make a note that Representative Wells, I think, has joined the meeting.
Yes, also, I'd like to speak, Mr. Moderator.
Yep.
This is Representative Toohill.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. I think it's a good idea. You know, just briefly, the history of the police station used to be on Park Place. It was a very small 2-story building. It then took over. It took over the Harrison Avenue School, and it was there for quite a while. And then, you know, it was moved up. You know, it was moved up to its present location on Laurel Street. So it's true. This is old furniture, and I think over the years that the town of Branford got very good use out of it. But thank you.
Representative Flanagan, Mr. Moderator, this is Representative Brocket. Representative Toohill, that was Hillside Avenue, not Park Place on the old police station.
That's right, sir. Thank you, Representative Brocket. You're correct.
Dennis Flanagan here. Any further discussion on this item? Any discussion from the public on this item? Hearing none, this will be a roll call vote.
Representative Adelman,
Representative Adelman, yes.
Representative Alphone,
Representative Alphone, yes.
Representative Anderson,
Representative Anderson, yes.
Representative Austin,
Representative Austin, yes.
Representative Black,
Representative Black, yes.
Representative Brocket,
Representative Brocket, yes.
Representative Conklin,
Representative Conklin, yes.
Representative Everson,
Representative Everson, yes.
Representative Erlanger,
Representative Erlanger, yes.
Representative Flanagan.
I
Oh,
don't
sorry. Representative Greenberg.
Representative Greenberg, yes.
Representative Haken,
Representative Haken, yes.
Representative Healy,
Representative Healy, yes.
Representative Henschel,
Representative Henschel, yes.
Representative Hines,
Representative Hines, yes.
Representative Ingraham,
Representative Ingraham, yes.
Representative Jackson,
Representative Jackson, yes.
Representative Leach, yes. Representative Lombardi,
Representative Lombardi, yes.
Representative Preet,
Representative Preet, yes.
Representative Ricchio,
Representative Ricchio and Caesar the Cat vote yes.
Representative Sember,
Representative Sember, yes.
Representative Cyrus,
Representative Sires, yes.
Representative Sumro,
Representative Sumro, yes.
Representative Stepanik,
Representative Stepanik, yes.
Representative Sullivan,
This is Representative Sullivan, yes.
Representative Toohill,
Yes. Representative Frank Toohill, yes.
and Representative Wells.
Representative Wells, yes.
Okay. Unanimous.
Okay, thank you. Dennis Flanagan here. The item passes. Item number 8, to consider and if appropriate, approve a request from the Board of Recreation for the following budget transfer from utilities, water, gas, and electric, 6,000 to purchase services R&M, 6,000. Representative Black.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Ways and Means heard this item last Tuesday, April 7th. The Recreation Director presented it. He's currently got about $54 left in his repair and maintenance account. He's dinged that for a number of items that are kind of cleanup to do with the new community house, some outdoor signage, some gym entrance flooring, wood panel construction, as well as Parker Park painting. So that account's pretty low right now. The anticipated expenses in this account moving forward, some of them are COVID-19 related, so they may be eligible for 75% reimbursement, but cleaning supplies and service from Cintas, $1,500, portable restroom rentals, because the parks are seeing more people there, $1,500, storage container rental, $1,000, cleaners, masks and gloves, $1,000, and then also $1,000 for any emergencies that come forward. Again, this is within the Recreation Department's budget, and the committee voted in favor of this transfer 5-0, so I put that in the form of a motion.
Moderator, this is Representative
Okay, Dennis Flanagan, here's a motion on the floor to approve this transfer. It's been seconded. Any discussion from members of the RTM?
Mr. Moderator, just wanted to mention that I received word that Representative Claire Torelli has now joined the meeting.
Dennis Flanagan here. Thank you, Representative Toohill. Any further discussion from members of the RTM?
Hi, this is Cindy Lombardi, Representative Cindy Lombardi. I think that there was something wanting to be mentioned by Mr. Brocket.
Representative Brocket, did you want to speak?
I'm sorry, Mr. Moderator. This is Representative Brocket. I just spoke to second the motion. That was all.
Okay, Dennis Flanagan, any further discussion from members of the RTM? If not, is there any discussion from members of the public? If not, this will be a roll call vote also.
Okay, Representative Adelman,
Representative Adelman, yes.
Representative Alphone,
Representative Alphone, yes.
Representative Anderson,
Representative Anderson, yes.
Representative Austin,
Representative Austin, yes.
Representative Black,
Representative Black, yes.
Representative Brocket,
Representative Brocket, yes.
Representative Conklin,
Representative Conklin, yes.
Representative Everson,
Representative Everson, yes.
Representative Erlanger,
Representative Erlanger, yes.
Representative Greenberg,
Representative Greenberg, yes.
Representative Haken,
Representative Haken, yes.
Representative Healy,
Representative Healy, yes.
Representative Henschel,
Representative Henschel, yes.
Representative Hines,
Representative Hines, yes.
Representative Ingraham,
Representative Ingraham, yes.
Representative Jackson,
Representative Jackson, yes.
Representative Leach, yes. Representative Lombardi,
Representative Lombardi, yes.
Representative Preet,
Representative Preet, yes.
Representative Ricchio,
Representative Ricchio, yes.
Representative Sember,
Representative Sember, yes.
Representative Sires,
Representative Sires, yes.
Representative Sumro,
Representative Sumro, yes.
Representative Stepanik,
Oh,
Representative Stepanik,
Representative Sabanik, you have to unmute yourself.
just did that. Representative Stepanik, yes. Did you hear
thank
me?
you. Just then I did, yes. Thank you.
Good, thank you.
Representative Sullivan,
This is Representative Sullivan, yes.
Representative Torelli,
Representative Torelli, I'll have to abstain. I just got on.
okay, abstain. Representative Toohill,
Representative Frank Toohill, yes.
Representative Wells,
Representative Wells, yes.
okay. Unanimous for all that heard the motion.
Okay, Dennis Flanagan, thank you very much from the clerk. Item number 9, to receive communications with respect to consider and act upon a resolution entitled Resolution Appropriating $500,000 for the town-wide drainage improvements 2020 and authorizing the issuing of $500,000 of bonds for the town to meet said appropriations and pending the issuance thereof, the making of temporary borrowings for such purpose. The full text of the resolution is attached and is on file with the office of the town clerk. Representative Black.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Representative Peter Black, 3rd District here, Chair of Ways and Means Committee. Yeah, we heard this last Tuesday. This is $500,000 for various drainage improvements. notably on Weir Street, Thimble Island Underpass, Blackstone Avenue.
Oh, it's a different one.
Pardon?
Dennis Flanagan here, Representative Black. Please continue.
Yeah, thanks. We heard a presentation from the town engineer, and the committee voted in favor of this 5-0. So I put that in the form of a motion to the full RTM, and it's a committee report, so it doesn't need a second at this point. So.
Dennis Flanagan here. The motion on the floor and it's been second to approve this item. Is there any discussion from the RTM?
Mr. Moderator, this is Representative Henschel.
Go ahead, Representative.
I just wanted to forward the fact that I had discussed this with the Stoney Creek Association, in particular relative to the improvements of the drainage on the railroad underpass, which has undergone some very severe flooding with cars floating in water, et cetera, over the last couple of years. So they're very much in favor of that portion of this bond appropriation.
Dennis Flanagan here. Anybody else from the RTM wishing to speak to this item? Hearing none, is there any citizens' comments on this item? If not, this will be a roll call vote. The clerk will take a roll call vote.
Representative Adelman,
Representative Adelman, yes.
Representative Alphone,
Representative Alphone, yes.
Representative Anderson,
Representative Anderson, yes.
Representative Austin,
Representative Austin, yes.
Representative Black,
Representative Black, yes.
Representative Brocket,
Representative Brocket, yes.
Representative Conklin,
Yes.
Representative Everson,
Representative Everson, yes.
Representative Erlanger,
Representative Erlanger, yes.
Representative Greenberg,
Representative Greenberg, yes.
Representative Haken,
Representative Haken, yes.
Representative Healy,
Representative Healy, yes.
Representative Henschel,
Representative Henschel, yes.
Representative Hines,
Representative Hines, yes.
Representative Ingraham,
Representative Ingraham, yes.
Representative Jackson,
Representative Jackson, yes.
Representative Leach, yes. Representative Lombardi,
Representative Lombardi, yes.
Representative Preet,
Representative Preet, yes.
Representative Ricchio,
Representative Ricchio, yes.
Representative Sember,
Representative Sember, yes.
Representative Sires,
Representative Sires, yes.
Representative Sumro, Representative Sumro, Representative Sumro, did she possibly leave the meeting?
Well, the camera just showed an empty chair, so it left the room briefly.
Okay, I'll try to come back to her. Representative Stepanek?
Representative, sorry. Yes.
Stepanek, yes.
Yes.
Yes, Stepanek, yes. Representative Sullivan?
This is Representative Sullivan, yes.
Representative Torelli? Representative Torelli? Hello?
Wait a minute, I'm stuck here. Representative Torelli, yes?
Thank you. Representative Toohill?
Representative Frank Toohill, First District, voting yes.
Representative Wells?
Representative Wells, yes.
Thank you. That was unanimous.
Thank you very much. The item passes. Item number 10, receive communications with respect to and consider and act upon a resolution entitled Resolution Appropriating $350,000 for the Stoney Creek Wharf Reconstruction 2020 and authorizing the issuance of $350,000 bonds of the town to meet said appropriation, and pending the issuance thereof, the making of temporary borrowings for such purpose. The full text of the resolution is attached and is on file with the office of the town clerk. Representative Black.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Representative Black here. Again, we heard this item last week on Tuesday. The Stoney Creek Wharf, as anything exposed to sea, wind, waves, etc., has deteriorated due to age. The town engineers got a preliminary estimate about $340,000 for repairs. So the committee voted 5-0 in favor of this item. So I put that in the form of a motion.
Dennis Flanagan here. A motion on the floor has been made and seconded to approve this item. Any discussion from members of the RTM?
Mr. Moderator, this is Representative Henschel.
Go ahead.
Again, the Stoney Creek Association it understands that this project is pending and is very much in favor of having the repairs to this heavily used area of the Stoney Creek docks move forward.
Dennis Flanagan here. Thank you. Any other members of the RTM wishing to speak? Hearing none. Anybody from the public wishing to speak on this item?
Representative Flanagan, I just have a question on that. I know that Representative Black put this in a form of a motion. Do we need a second on that? I didn't think we did.
It's not.
Excuse me.
This
This is Town Clerk Arpin. You must identify yourself before you speak. Thank you.
Representative Leach, sorry.
Dennis Flanagan here. But the motion doesn't need to require a second because I believe it came out of committee 5-0, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Moderator, this is Representative Toohill. I'd like to speak for a moment.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. I'm extremely for this project. There's a lot of traffic down in Stoney Creek, especially for the 3 months during the summer. And this pier down there is always in use. And there's a lot of tour boats that come in all the time. And they have that, there's a nice little house out there too, you know, for people to sit in. And so the whole thing is going to be changed, and it's a fairly good price too. So, you know, this is a good project to vote yes. Thank you.
Any further discussion from members of the RTM? Hearing none. Any discussion from members of the public? Hearing none. This will require a roll call vote also.
Representative Adelman.
Representative Adelman, yes.
Representative Alphone.
Representative Alphone, yes.
Representative Anderson.
Representative Anderson, yes.
Representative Austin.
Representative Austin, yes.
Representative Black.
Representative Black, yes.
Representative Brocket.
Representative Brocket, yes.
Representative Conklin.
Representative Conklin, yes.
Representative Everson.
Representative Everson, yes.
Representative Erlanger.
Representative Erlanger, yes.
Representative Greenberg.
Representative Greenberg, yes.
Representative Hagan.
Representative Haken, yes.
Representative Healy.
Representative Healy, yes.
Representative Henschel.
Representative Henschel, yes.
Representative Hines.
Representative Hines, yes.
Representative Ingraham.
Representative Ingraham, yes.
Representative Jackson.
Representative Jackson, yes.
Representative Leach, yes. Representative Lombardi.
Representative Lombardi, yes.
Representative Preet.
Representative Preet, yes.
Representative Ricchio.
Representative Ricchio, yes.
Representative Sember.
Representative Sember, yes.
Representative Cyrus,
Representative Sayers, yes.
Representative Sumro,
Representative Somro, yes.
Representative Stepanek,
Stepanek, yes.
Representative Sullivan,
Representative Sullivan, yes.
Representative Torelli, Representative Torelli. Hello. Is Representative Torelli still present?
She is, but she needs to be unmuted.
Representative Torelli,
This is Town Clerk Arp, and I don't see her on the call.
And
She is, she's just
Okay,
muted.
now I see her. Go ahead, Claire.
Representative Torelli, yes.
thank you. Representative Toohill,
Representative Frank Toohill, yes.
Representative Wells.
Representative Wells, yes.
Thank you. Vote was unanimous.
Okay, the item passes. Thank you. Item number 11, to receive communications with respect to and consider and act upon a resolution entitled Resolution Amending a Resolution Appropriating $5,245,000 for the Blackstone Memorial Library renovation 2018 and authorizing the issuance of $5,245,000 bonds of the town to meet said appropriation, and pending the issuance thereof, the making of temporary borrowings for such purpose. The purpose of the amendment is to increase the appropriation and bond authorization from $5,245,000 to $5,745,000, and ratify, confirm, and adopt all prior authorizations and resolutions and connections therewith. The full text of the resolution is attached and is on file with Town Clerk. Representative Black.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Representative Peter Black again. Ways and Means heard this item last Tuesday. This is for provide additional funding to the library for repair of the roof, the little dome. There's leaking. This was part of the original project, opening up some of the walls. There's more deterioration than they'd originally expected. So the committee voted 4-1 in favor of this project. I was the minority. So first of all, on behalf of the committee, I'll put that in the form of a motion. And I'll give my minority report. Is they also have, they hadn't come down with a firm estimate on the cost yet. And the library itself has contingencies of $189,000 left from the project, some of which they're hoping to put toward mezzanine renovation, as well as painting the auditorium ceiling. And there's an additional $35,000 in excess fundraised, and their operating budget is having $99,000 surpluses projected. So that was for the reasoning for me voting against it. But at this point, I was in the minority, so I'll put the committee's report in the form of a motion before the full RTM.
Okay, there's been a motion to approve this item. Is there any discussion from the members of the RTM? Hearing none, is there any comments from the public?
Yes, Mr. Moderator, Wayne Cook.
Okay, go ahead, Wayne.
To Representative Black's point, I was at the, on Zoom, the Ways and Means. It seems like there's a lot of loose ends in that library's financing. And I think his points are well taken that, why don't we figure out what they are, or why don't they figure out what they are first before they ask for another $500,000, which I don't even think, maybe I missed something, was the product of an estimate in terms of the repairs that they need. So I hate to use the word sloppy, but it seems pretty sloppy to me what's going on over there at this point in time. Thank you.
Mr. Moderator, this is Representative Brocket. I'd like to make a comment.
Representative Brocket, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Through you, Mr. Moderator, I attended the Ways and Means Committee, and I'm a member of that committee as well. And we were presented with a lengthy explanation from the first selectman, also from the finance director, and there were also representatives from the architectural firm for the library, as well as the construction manager for the library. And this is a project that at one point in time, they thought they could fix part of the roof without having to tackling the whole roof. But the explanation was that the whole roof needs fixing. The roof has not been touched in 125 years since the library was originally built. So Mr. Finch extended the bond to $500 to ensure that it would cover all of the roof repairs. To the extent that it comes in a little less than $500,000, at least we not forget that the library did have a grant when we approved the original funding. In addition, they've collected a whole bunch of money. The town is the payer in this, and this is a project that needs to be done as soon as possible to protect not only the library's investment in the library, but the town's investment in the library as well. Thank you, Mr. Moderator.
Mr. Moderator, this
Any
is
other comments from the RTM?
Yes, Mr. Moderator, this is Tracy Everson. I would just like to point out that the library director and I believe the construction manager are also on this call and could answer any questions if there were questions.
I'd like to make a comment, Mr. Moderator.
Representative Toohill, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. I'm Frank Toohill. I'm the ex officio on the library board, and just like to state that it's true. I mean, this is a continuing problem. It's the original roof. It's the little dome. It's old construction. Is used, and it has to be fixed. I spoke to Jamie Cosgrove, our first selectman, and he explained to me, the steps that are going on, the process. And I think that we should, after speaking with him, I think that we should vote yes tonight on this. Thank you.
Can I jump in now, Mr. Moderator?
Wait a minute, Mr. Cook. Any other comments from the RTM on this? Hearing none. Okay, Mr. Cook, go ahead.
My point was, and I don't know if I made it well enough, was that, I'm not saying we don't need this done. I'm just saying that from my understanding, that there are funds floating around out there from other sources that the library used or is using or are using, I don't know, that should be factored into this that are not. I didn't hear the things, perhaps, maybe I'm not as well versed in things as Mr. Brocket is in terms of, this particular issue, but I just got the feeling that, it could have been tightened up, and it still can be tightened up a lot more than it is before you go forward and, allocate monies that may not be needed because they're already there. That's all.
Mr. Moderator, this is Representative Riccio. I tried to speak earlier.
Go ahead.
I had it on mute. I'm sorry. I'm very uncomfortable with this request for more money. I understand the roof is old. I understand it has to get replaced. Because of what's going on in the world, I have not been able to really dig into this situation because I just haven't had the time. I'm sure you don't want to hear that, but because of the circumstances that are going on, my business has really taken up a lot of my time. And I'm just uncomfortable with this. I don't have enough information. I am not going to vote yes on this item. I think the citizens in the RTM needs more information. I'm going to ask a very simple question. Why wasn't the roof evaluated? before they came and asked for $5 million last year or 2 years ago. I still don't have an answer for that. And I think the president or some of the people who are on the board of the library need to come to the R.T.M. and report to us why. I think we need an investigation. And I tend to agree with Mr. Cook on this, that I think it's sloppy accounting. It's sloppy management. And I am not going to vote for this line item or this item tonight. I'm going to vote against it. Thank you.
Any other comments from the RTM or citizens comments on this item?
Yes, hello. This is Jeff Vosberg. I work for Downs Construction, the construction management firm. And I just want to, I guess, shed a little bit more light and some more detail on this request, and hopefully it could ease everybody's mind a little bit. So Mr. Black's statement is correct. There are some contingencies that do remain as part of the project. Excuse me. However, the amount of work that needs to take place at this roof exceeds that contingency by nearly double. And that's just based on what we know at this point in time. We do have some plans to move forward with some more forensic investigative work to take out some of the ceilings in the back of house area of the stage, to do a little bit more digging and find out, finalize the plans and the details that we have there. So right now we have a set of, 90% construction documents that we're working to get a somewhat rigid estimate together. But again, there's a lot of unknowns that are associated with this whole roof assembly. And to Mr. Riccio's comment about why was an investigation not performed before we asked for the original budget, the allotment, Silver Petroselli did do some investigative work before this project came to fruition in the form of a GMP. There was a report that was developed, and based off of previous repairs that had been made over the years, it seems like this problem was just isolated to the whole gutter system there, which is what was on the plans in the original GMP, which was roughly $100,000 allotment to do this work. That included also some masonry repointing and some other coating work on the dome. As you can see, that existing dome, once again, that green patina there, that's actually multiple layers of coatings over the years that have built up. And again, some of those were asbestos containing, which is another factor of why the price for this whole roof reconstruction is up in the six-figure range, and frankly may go even higher than the original $300,000 figure that I threw out there. And some of the other improvements that are part of this project were indeed that. They were always part of this project. The hope was to always get these other improvements done inside the auditorium for the mezzanine, and really, especially the ceiling. If everyone has been in this building, they could see that ceiling is in need of dire straits. It needs to be addressed, and it just, wouldn't be right for us to close out this project and to leave the auditorium ceiling and, and so to speak, shambles the way it is right now. So yes, there are some contingencies left there to everybody on the RTM, but it really just isn't enough to cover the dome work by itself. But I will say that our goal isn't to take these additional funds, the 500,000 plus whatever our contingencies are, and just spend it willy-nilly on everything that we want. The goal is to return some portion of that funding back to the town and to maximize the return back to the citizens. We don't want to just blindly spend the citizens' money or the town's money. So I know it's a lengthy explanation, but it's a whole lot more than I think some people realize. It's really, I don't know if you ever would have been able to know the sheer amount of work that needed to have taken place here. And it's just going to be a very careful, selective demolition process, because there's a lot of work inside that stage area that's very intricate, that's, again, original to the building. And we've researched other ways and means to possibly make this a little more efficient, and it was going to be end up being much more costly. If we had to take out that whole stage dome area, it would have been almost $250,000 by itself. So we have a plan to work around that to minimize that. But right now we're floating around roughly a $300,000 estimate just to do the roof repair.
All right, Dennis Flanagan here. Any other comments from either the RTM or the public?
Mr. Moderator, this is Representative Riccio. Through you, I'd like to thank the gentleman for coming tonight and speaking to us about this. I want to know where a representative from the board of the Blackstone Library is. Is anyone from that board? Is Robin Sandler?
I'm on the board. I'm on the board, Riccio.
Thank you, Mr. Representative. Thank you, Representative Toohill. But you know, we're talking about, you know, the numbers that were being tossed around were $500,000, and I want to hear from the board. I want to hear from the people who approve the money or are looking for this money, and I want to ask them a simple question: how could you not check the roof before you spend $5 million? Now, I know I should have attended, maybe some of the meetings, but I have not had the bandwidth to do it because of what's going on in the world right now, and I'm directly involved in helping organizations stay in business. So I'm sorry, but not to have a representative from the library at this meeting tonight. Shame on them. Now, of course, we're probably going to spend the money and give them the money, but shame on them for not being here tonight. And I think an investigation, I think Mr. Cook's got a point. It's sloppy accounting, and I think it's sloppy management. And I was on the RTM when we approved the new gutters. Listen, this is a very unique building. I just put gutters on a home, and the first thing we did was check the roof. But how do you put gutters on a building a few years ago, and why didn't we check the roof? It's a simple question, and I think there's some questions we should be asking the management team, the people who run the library. And Frank, I respect that you're on this board, or as a you don't have the final say for these things on the board. I want to talk to Robin Sandler and other people that are on that board and ask them these questions.
He's off the board right now, Representative Riccio. The current president is Polly Fitz, and Karen Jensen, right? She's the librarian, and I think that Karen's on the Zoom with us. I was told. I don't know if she's here or not. You here, Karen?
Yes, Representative Toohill, Representative Riccio. This is Karen Jensen. I'm the director at the library. And yes, that is a good question. Because of the way the project was phased, the rear roof was scheduled to be completed at the end of the project. And as Jeff stated, it was looked at. We've long been aware of damage to the roof. Capital funding was appropriated in 2017, but we didn't know the extent of the damage until we got to that point in the project.
Can I ask a question, please, Mr. Moderator?
I just wanted to mention something, Mr. Moderator.
Wait a minute, Frank. Wait a minute. I recognize Wayne Cook.
Yes, to the director, Mrs. Jensen. I'm not very well versed in the library's finances or even this, project specifically, but are there funds that are floating around out there that could be used for this, roof repair that aren't accounted for at this point? It was brought to my attention that, that could be the case. I'm not accusing anybody, or I'm not saying that it's actually happening, but someone said, well, they got money from this and they got money from that. And, if they tighten it all up, that could be used to do this repair.
So this is Karen Jensen, Library Director. I'll answer the question. We did do fundraising for the project. We raised over $800,000. We have turned over all the money that we have received so far to the town. There is still some money in outstanding pledges. We did receive grant from the Branford Community Foundation and also the Community Foundation for Greater New Haven. And those grants were in the form of pledges over a 4-year term. So those are still outstanding. In terms of an operating surplus, we're not at the end of the year yet. It is possible that we will have a surplus in the operating budget. That is unusual for us, and it's because of a couple of factors. One, that we were very successful in fundraising for our annual appeal for the operating budget, and also because we have had a full-time person on temporary leave. So it's my understanding, and it would obviously be up to the board, but that money should be used for operating expenses, and at this point is not available for the project.
Okay, Dennis Flanagan, are any other comments from the RTM or for the public?
Mr. Moderator, this is Representative Ricky. I have one question. Can you share with us how much money is in your rainy day fund, please? I'm just interested to know.
So this is Karen Jensen, Library Director. You're asking me?
Yes.
We don't have a rainy day fund. The way our budget works, we receive approximately 85% of the operating budget from the town. The other 15% comes from fundraising, donations from our annual appeal, and income from investments. So the other, there's no rainy day fund. If we have a surplus and we don't spend it, it basically means we don't take the money from the investments. So the money would remain in those accounts to be available for future support.
Mr. Moderator?
Who's speaking?
This is Rick Mahoney speaking. I'm the treasurer of the Blackstone Library.
Go ahead, speak.
Thank you. Members of the RTM, this is a simple request. The struts that support the roof of the library, rear roof, have eroded and no longer can support the roof. It's a very simple thing. To Mr. Ricchio's question, there's no way we would have known that until the actual repairs were started. It's basically like the it's basically like the arches holding up the roof have eroded. Without actually opening up the roof and trying the repairs, it is impossible and would have been impossible to know. Second, you're going to borrow $500,000 not to exceed. This is a town project. It is not a library project. So any and all expenses will go through the town and be approved by the town. If expenses are not required, then they won't be spent. So you will not, and probably will not, be required to expend the entire $500,000. It is just a safeguard in case something happens. Second, and most important, you're borrowing $500,000 at basically free. You're going to get less than 1% interest rate. And Mr. Ricchio, you know that less than 1% interest rate is basically pretty free. So if you consider the fact that this is a request came not from the library, but from the town, as a not to exceed to get the roof repaired in a timely manner. It is best that the town repair the roof and maintain the treasure that is the library. Thank you, Mr. Moderator.
Okay, Dennis Flanagan here. Anybody from the RTM or the public still wishing to speak to this item?
Yes, I'd like to speak, Mr. Moderator. Representative
Go
Toohill.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. I believe that in this project, which, is ongoing now, when the town, got the original 5.2 million bonding, I believe 100,000 was reserved for this item, for the leaking roof. But as you just heard, it's more extensive than was thought. So, that's the problem. Thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Moderator, this is Representative Riccio. My biggest problem with this is the process and finding out. I tend to disagree with. I feel that this should have been investigated and looked into during the project redesign or the building redesign or the building, reconstruction. And I just feel somebody missed it. And, if we had known about this 3 years ago, the money probably would have been approved anyways. It just rubs me the wrong way that we're finding out not even at the 11th hour, at the 12th hour.
Mr. Moderator, this is David Stein with Silver Petroselli. May I speak? I'm the architect on the project.
Dennis Flanagan here. Go right ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Good evening, everybody. So just want to describe the scope of work and from what it originally was and what we're proposing to do now, and the reason why we are discovering this at this point. The original scope of work was to peel back just the initial layers around the gutter area, in which we knew there was some repairs that were done over the years. We saw patching that was done. As Jeff from Downs mentioned, that roof original copper coating, the green that you see, is actually a coating that's on that roof. That's not original copper patina that you see. And over the years, that was added on to. Our original attempt, because we saw no signs of leaking inside the inner part of the dome, no real visible signs of leaking from there. We knew we had to do some repairs within that gutter. It's similar to kind of a Yankee gutter construction. That was our plan. We did some investigation where we were able to peel back those layers, and we saw where there was deterioration. So that was built into the scope of work and was part of the original authorization and request and construction documents that was bid publicly. That work was the last phase of our overall project, okay? And that was done within the fall. We began to do that work, and Jeff's team, as they started peeling back the layers, discovered that the structural elements, which is actually iron, was deteriorating, essentially delaminating at that point. The structure of that arch or dome is what we call a flat arch. It's actually a terracotta tile. They're sort of woven together and they tie into those steel structural elements. As we did further investigation and began to peel back layer after layer, we discovered that that arch construction and that steel could not be repaired from the top. That the only way to do it was to try to do it from below. By doing it from below essentially resulted in we would need to take out that beautiful inner dome, the one that you see that's on that stage, that's in that proscenium opening. We looked at the pricing of doing that and to try to historically recreate that. And as Jeff mentioned, that would be extremely expensive. And the last thing we wanted to do was take out that original arch and then try to recreate it back to its original artistry. So the approach that we came up with is that we're going to remove that steel. We're going to leave the inner dome, the non-structural dome, in place. And we're going to create a brand new cap, a new structural dome. With that, there's obviously needs to be some contingency because we are essentially surgically removing this structural element of that dome. And our intent is to fully recreate that historically with all its details to match its original look and feel and aesthetic that was there. So all of this, none of this could have been determined at the time. You're only able to see what you can see, even with forensic work. It wasn't until we literally dug real deep into the cross section of that dome that we determined that there was structural delamination. And then we had a structural engineer from Michael Horton Associates come on board. They investigated that, and we determined that in the best interest of the project, we didn't want to just continue and repair what we were originally doing. It made sense for the longevity of this dome to remove it and structurally repair it. So there was due diligence that was done at the beginning. The scope of work was contemplated. It was bid. We got into the work again at the last phase of the project. That's when we discovered what the issue was. We did further investigation, brought on experts to look at it, put together construction documents, and then we had Jeff and his team begin to put pricing together. And now there's a contingency that's based on that. Thank you.
All right, Dennis Flanagan here. Any further comments from either the R.T.M. or the public on this item?
Representative, Mr. Moderator, this is Mr. Riccio, Representative Riccio again. I have a question for the gentleman who was just asking through you. Did you know how many years that roof was before you started the project?
Dennis Flanagan here. A question for David Stein.
Yeah, if the gentleman could answer the question again, I'm not sure I fully understood the timeline. If you could answer the question, ask the question again, please.
When you got involved in this project, did you know how old the roof was?
Yes, we did. There was history on when that has been repaired over the years. I know in 2007.
I'm not asking when the repairs were done. Do you know how many, simple question, do you know how many, how old the roof was?
The original construction? Yes.
Yes. How many years was it?
It was built in 1896.
You're telling me you've got a roof that's over 100 years old. How much more money would have it cost on the project to go in and check the roof? $20,000 more? $10,000 more?
You typically do not begin to chase items. For example, our work around the larger dome only included some patching. We did work on some of the corner pieces that just involved replacement of just the copper. So to be able to continue to dig and find this issue out when there was no signs of structural settlement, no cracking on the exterior facade, any of that, this wouldn't be something that you would discover with a moisture, any type of radar or any other type of moisture investigation. This was an item that you had to peel layer and layer back to determine.
So again, my question is, how much more money would have it cost to peel off the layers until you could assure the town that the roof was sound? $10,000, $20,000? That's I'm just curious.
Mr. Moderator?
Just a reminder here, you need to identify yourself every time you speak.
Mr. Moderator, may I speak?
Go ahead. Who is this?
This is Michael McDonald with Downs Construction Company.
Go right ahead.
The town's initial contribution to the roof repair was based on visual inspections. It was estimated to be $100,000, and the town very generously allocated that amount. We're in the midst of expending about $20,000 to determine the full extent of damage. I don't believe the town would have spent $20,000 3 years ago to get an estimate. This money that we're expending from project funds is part of the construction process while we have masons, carpenters, and roofers on the job. It's already been explained that the timing of this, the auditorium repairs was the last phase of 6 or 7 phases of work. If you were in the library, you saw that we moved the children's department into the auditorium so that we executed all the other phases and created that swing space. So the timing has been responded to. That question has been responded to by Karen, David, and Jeff. So again, we feel that the town 3 years ago would have not paid $20,000 to obtain an estimate on roof repairs. And as David, the architect, explained, that the extent of that work was revealed by our destructive investigations into the work. We've had to patch it temporarily till we can execute the rest of the work. And there are structural failures imminent there with these rotted iron beams. And I'd like to make a comment about the overall management of the project. We've completed over $5 million worth of work. We have a contingency balance of $180,000 plus or minus with what we thought was a $100,000 roof job. So this project was very efficiently managed. And if the roof work was $100,000, we'd be looking at an $80,000 surplus and all work finished. Thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Moderator, if I could make a comment, this is Representative Tracy Everson.
Go ahead, Tracy.
Thank you. I would like to commend the professionals who have overseen this project. As was just pointed out, I think it has been very well managed. I was not a member of this R.T.M. when this originally came before us. I think as many people can understand, when it comes to construction, when you start to peel the onion back, it's always a lot more expense than anyone could have ever foreseen. These are highly trained, highly professional people working on this construction process. And as we just heard, there is not much left in this budget. This roof, this library is a treasure. I would not want to see some hack job because we don't want to spend. I understand it's a lot of money. I understand that, but this is a treasure in this town. It's a complex roof. It's an old building. I think we should preserve it. And I think we should move to have a vote on this item. Thank you.
Mr. Moderator, this is Representative Riccio. Just I'd like to have one more comment, please. Representative Everson, you tell that to the single woman who's got 3 kids that lost her job and doesn't have money for food. You tell her that this is a treasure. See if she cares. You ask the family of a husband and wife that are unemployed right now with kids, or maybe a kid that's trying to go to college. You tell them about how the Brantford Library is a treasure. I am not disputing the fact that we shouldn't do this. I am questioning the process. I am questioning why we weren't given the opportunity to vote on spending $20,000 to see if there was a problem with the roof. That's my point. Thank you.
All right.
Mr. Moderator, Representative Adelman, may I?
Yes, go ahead, Dave.
I think that the previous gentleman's inquiries were asked, and I think they were sufficiently answered. And I would just recommend, or echo rather, Representative Everson's comments, and I think that we should move to have a vote on the issue.
Are you putting it in the form of a motion?
I am.
Is there a second on that?
Representative Brocket here, Mr. Moderator. I'll second that.
There's a motion on the floor and it's been seconded to move the question on this. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 It has to be a roll call.
Roll call, doesn't it?
Roll call vote on it.
You might
Oh, I
want to
missed it.
rescind your motion.
Rescind
Give
that.
the clerk a break.
The motion on the second to move the question. So this will be a roll call vote.
Mr. Moderator, this is Representative Free. If I may speak, I would ask Representative Adelman to rescind that. I mean, we're going through 15 roll call votes tonight. If he could rescind the motion, I think most of the people that wanted to talk have talked, and I think
I have no problem if he wants to do that, but is there anybody else that's going to speak to this? I think we've heard many people, both public and R.T.M. on this. So if Representative Adelman would rescind his motion and Representative Everson her second, I have no problem taking a roll call vote on this.
Thank you.
I mean, I thought the last gentleman spoke, said he had one further question and made reference to that question. So if there's other people that want to speak, I certainly don't want to stifle the conversation, but I thought we've had it exhausted. So for the time being, I'll rescind the motion and open it up for discussion.
Representative Everson, your second?
I'll second that if there are more people who want to speak.
I'd like to say one more thing, Mr. Moderator.
Wayne Cook, go ahead.
Yeah, just quickly. I think this discussion has been terrific. I think the professionals answered their situation extremely well. I think that Representative Ricchio's questions were very poignant. And the R.T.M., I'm going to say this, and you want to roll your eyes, but you should be doing more of this stuff. Lots more of this stuff, and looking at questions like this and going into detail. I'll tell you one thing. When that dome goes up and the roof is fixed, you're going to know darn well that we did the right thing after this discussion, because everybody stood their ground and answered what they had to. So, all I can say is good for you. Good for all of you.
Okay, Dennis Flanagan here. If there's no further comments.
Yeah, I have one more comment, Mr. Moderator, please.
Let's move on with this thing, huh?
Yeah, this will be quick, sir. Oh, is that okay, Mr. Moderator?
All right, go ahead.
I just wanted to mention that I was at a board meeting there in January, and I was leaving the board meeting, and I was talking to the treasurer, Rick Mahoney, and he said to me, Frank, this is a real bad problem. So I said, the thing I'd like to do is take a look at it. So anyway, we go in there, and it's true, right? There's all this terracotta construction, which was used back then in the 1890s, but this was the thing I could never get over, that the drains, right, that all the water that comes off the roof, it goes down in between the walls. And I think that's part of the problem, that it's very moist in there. I mean, it's a real can of worms, but I think we can fix it. And I mean, the cost is extremely high, but it could be worse, Okay, thank you.
Okay, since there is no further comments from either the R.T.M. or the public, let's move on this question. Motion was on the floor to approve this. This will be a roll call vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed signify by saying no. Representative Leach, will please do the roll call on this.
Okay, here we go. Representative Adelman.
Representative Adelman, yes.
Representative Alphone.
Representative Alphone, yes.
Representative Anderson.
Representative Anderson, yes.
Representative Austin.
Representative Austin, yes.
Representative Black.
No. Representative Black, no.
Representative Brocket.
Representative Brocket, yes.
Representative Conklin.
Representative Conklin, yes.
Representative Everson.
Representative Everson, yes.
Representative Erlanger.
Representative Erlanger, yes.
Representative Greenberg.
Representative Greenberg, yes.
Representative Haken.
Representative Haken, yes.
Representative Healy.
Representative Healy, yes.
Representative Henschel,
Representative Henschel, yes.
Representative Hines,
Representative Hines, yes.
Representative Ingraham,
Representative Ingraham, yes.
Representative Jackson,
Representative Jackson, yes.
Representative Leach, yes. Representative Lombardi,
Representative Lombardi, yes.
Representative Preet,
Representative Preet, yes.
Representative Ricchio,
Representative Ricchio, no.
Representative Sember,
Representative Sember, yes.
Representative Sires,
Representative Sires, no.
Representative Sumro,
Representative Sumro, yes.
Representative Stepanek,
Representative Stepanek, no.
Representative Sullivan,
This is Representative Sullivan, yes.
Representative Torelli,
Representative Torelli, yes.
Representative Toohill,
Representative Frank Toohill, yes.
Representative Wells.
Representative Wells, yes.
Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4 no votes. And that would make, I lost my count here. So we had 24 yes, 4 no.
Okay, the item passes. Okay, moving on. Item 12, to receive communications with respect to and consider and act upon a resolution entitled Resolution Amending a Resolution Appropriating $6 million for the Town of Branford Town-wide Energy Conservation and Modernization Program and authorizing the issuance of $6 million in bonds, lease, or other financing of the town to meet said appropriations and pending the issuance thereof, then making a temporary borrowings for such purpose. The purpose of the amendment is to increase the appropriation and bond authorization from $6 million to $6,200,000 and ratify, confirm, and adopt all prior authorizations and resolutions in connection therewith. The full text of the resolution is on file with the town clerk. Representative Black.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Again, Ways and Means heard this last Tuesday. These items 12 and 13 really are both to fund a conversion of some field lighting for various fields within the town from present, what I think they're sodium lights, to LED lights. These have a pretty quick payback period of generally about 3 years. This particular bonding resolution it's an amendment for the one that we did with the Honeywell project. At this point, I'll also address the next item on the agenda, number 13. That's a transfer out of fund balance of the 79,000. Again, these are both the same projects, and there's a resolution increasing the budget there. Both of these items passed the committee 5-0. So in the interest of brevity, I'll combine that into one motion for 12 and 13 and put that in the form of a motion before the full committee, before the full RTM rather. Thank you.
Well, Representative Black, I think item 12, because it's a bonding issue portion, has to be voted on separately to have meet the requirements of bond council. So why don't we do 12 and then do 13 right after?
That's fine. I'm trying to save us all this.
I know, but bond council, I want to make
Okay.
sure they don't come back and say we didn't approve it the right way or something. So to simplify it, your motion on item 12 is to approve. Is any discussion from the members of the RTM?
Mr. Moderator, this is Representative Sullivan. I just wanted to speak to this
Go ahead.
quickly.
Go ahead, Representative Sullivan.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Several years ago, when we approved this original bonding resolution, I was opposed to it because there were several components that had very poor return on investments for the project in terms of energy savings. And at the committee meeting, I had asked if there was any reporting from the contractor on the energy savings of the project, and we hadn't gotten any reporting yet. So I guess I have two questions, and one would be, if there has been any update since the committee meeting, which I doubt there is. And then the second part of it is, I wonder if during the project, if there had been any direction from the administration to the department heads of where this work was done for them to track their utility bills to see if they were recognizing savings as the project implementation was taking place. I just wanted to try to get a better sense of where these savings were actually coming in and get it, if we could get a sense of that before voting to spend more money on it.
Anybody from the R.T.M speak to that? Representative Black?
Through you, Mr. Moderator. No, I haven't gotten any new report. My recollection is that when we had a list of projects, we really looked at the payback period. You know, you and I would have to sit down and look at the various projects. I know some of the original ones did have long payback periods, and I thought we eliminated those. But I haven't received any specific reports. Again, this is a conversion to LED, and the payback period's generally about 3 years on these. So I'd urge us to support this. Some of these lighting, I believe, need to be replaced in any case. So, you know, follow. I don't know if the first selectman has anything to say about the reporting from Honeywell, but I don't have anything to add on that matter.
Dennis Flanagan, Selectman Cosgrove, do you have any comments on this?
Yes, Jamie Cosgrove for Selectman. Just to quickly address the comment about number of items having a long payback period. That is the program. It's you combine quick payback measures with other measures that you need to do in terms of facility upgrades, equipment replacement, which tend to have longer payback. So it's a cash flow positive program that basically is self-funding. The savings through the utilities pays for other improvements, capital improvements that we would otherwise have to tax for. You know, the comment about some items being in the project that had a longer payback, yeah, and we were trying to address those through the Board of Ed as well as townside facilities had identified improvements to equipment that needed to take place. As far as, yes, there has been a savings even while the project was ongoing. I know it was commented by both on the Board of Ed side as well as the town side that they were realizing a reduction in their utility costs. The Honeywell is contractually obligated to provide a measure and verification report. However, that report starts at the completion. The period they evaluate is after the project was 100% completed, a 12-month period after that. So that was probably just about early winter when that had wrapped up, and the 12-month period. The report was compiled. I did check with, I think back in about a month ago, that was sent to, remember, the firm ECG. They actually acted as our owner's rep. ECG has that report, is making their comments, and will be submitting to that town. I have just coincidentally had got an email from, because I inquired about it. They expected by the end of the week that would be provided to the town.
Mr. Moderator, Representative Black here. Just
Go ahead.
Selectman Cosgrove was refreshing my memory for Representative Sullivan. There were some items that had little savings. I recall HVAC systems for the police department, but those were items that we were going to have to replace anyway. They were, you know, as we know, it's been about 20, 25 years since that building was built. So they were at the near the end of their life anyway. And as Selectman Cosgrove said, it was being financed by utility savings in other areas. But That's my recollection of, what was happening with those, some of those things that we were replacing that might have not have had a great payback. Thank you.
As
Flanagan here,
Mr. Moderator, if I just make one more comment.
Go ahead.
For Selectman Cosgrove here, as well as you may recall when we were doing the going through the appropriation, we had a number that we had for projected incentives through the utility companies. We've actually did quite well. We exceeded the incentives that were projected and received that. So we ended up financing far less than originally projected. But I just bring that up that the utility audit the project themselves prior to the C, and that's what they base the incentives on. And the fact that we actually exceeded what we had initially projected, I think in itself is a validation that the project overall was a benefit to the taxpayers.
Okay, Dennis Flanagan, any further comments from the RTM? Any comments from the public? Hearing none, this will be a roll call vote.
Mr. Moderator, I was wondering, since Representative Black said these two items are connected, do you think it would be acceptable for me to call each representative's name and they could say yes to item 12 and yes to item 13, or no?
Well, no, I'm gonna, once we do 12, I'm gonna read 13.
Separate?
Yes, separately, yes.
Okay, here we go. Representative Adelman.
Representative Adelman, yes.
Representative Alphone.
Representative Alphone, yes.
Representative Anderson.
Representative Anderson, yes.
Representative Austin.
Representative Austin, yes.
Representative Black.
Representative Black, yes.
Representative Brocket.
Representative Brocket, yes.
Representative Conklin.
Representative Conklin, yes.
Representative Everson.
Representative Everson, yes.
Representative Erlanger.
Representative Erlanger, yes.
Representative Greenberg.
Representative Greenberg, yes.
Representative Haken.
Representative Haken, yes.
Representative Healy.
Representative Healy, yes.
Representative Henschel.
Representative Henschel, yes.
Representative Hines.
Representative Hines, yes.
Representative Ingraham.
Representative Ingraham, yes.
Representative Jackson.
Representative Jackson, yes.
Representative Leach, yes. Representative Lombardi.
Representative Lombardi, yes.
Representative Preet.
Representative Preet, yes.
Representative Ricchio.
Representative Ricchio, yes.
Representative Sember.
Representative Sember, yes.
Representative Sires.
Representative Sires, yes.
Representative Sumro.
Representative Sumro, yes.
Representative Stepanik.
Representative Stepanik, yes.
Representative Sullivan.
This is Representative Sullivan, yes.
Representative Torelli.
Representative Torelli, yes.
Representative Toohill.
Representative Frank Toohill, yes.
Representative Wells.
Representative Wells, yes.
Okay, the vote is unanimous.
Okay, the item passes. Thank you. Item 13, to consider and if appropriate, approve request from the finance director for the following budget transfers and resolution. From the general fund balance 79,607 to transfer out municipal facilities fund 79,607, and from municipal facilities fund transfer in 79,607, and two energy performance contracts 79,607. Resolved that the RTM approves a transfer out of 79,607 to the municipal facilities fund to fund turf field lighting projects through the energy conservation project. This transfer out will be funded from the undesignated fund balance and increase the fiscal year 2020 general fund budget from $115,519,387 to $115,598,994. Representative Black.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Again, this is more the same, except for it's being funded from the undesignated fund balance. This increases the overall budget for the current fiscal year, reduces what we have to borrow or tax for next year. The committee approved it 5-0, so I put that in the form of a motion.
Okay, motion on the floor to approve this item, and any discussion from the RTM? Hearing none, any discussion from the public? Okay, the clerk will call the roll call vote on this, please.
Representative Adelman,
Representative Adelman, yes.
Representative Alphone,
Representative Alphone, yes.
Representative Anderson,
Representative Anderson, yes.
Representative Austin,
Representative Austin, yes.
Representative Black,
Representative Black,
he's muted.
and
Representative Black, yes.
Thank you. Representative Brocket,
Representative Brocket, yes.
Representative Conklin,
Representative Conklin, yes.
Representative Everson,
Representative Everson, yes.
Representative Erlanger,
Representative Erlanger, yes.
Representative Greenberg,
Representative Greenberg, yes.
Representative Haken,
Representative Haken, yes.
Representative Healy,
Representative Healy, yes.
Representative Henschel,
Representative Henschel, yes.
Representative Hines,
Representative Hines, yes.
Representative Ingraham,
Representative Ingraham, yes.
Representative Jackson,
Representative Jackson, yes.
Representative Leach, yes. Representative Lombardi,
Representative Lombardi, yes.
Representative Preet,
Representative Preet, yes.
Representative Ricchio, Representative Ricchio,
Representative Ricchio, yes.
Representative Sember,
Representative Sember, yes.
Representative Sires,
Representative Sires, yes.
Representative Sumro,
Representative Sumro, yes.
Representative Stepanik,
Representative Stepanik, yes.
Representative Sullivan,
This is Representative Sullivan, yes.
Representative Torelli,
Representative Torelli, yes.
Representative Toohill,
Yes, Representative Frank Toohill, yes.
Representative Wells.
Representative Wells, yes.
Okay, the vote is unanimous.
okay, thank you. The item passes. Item 14, to consider and appropriate approve a request from the finance director for the following budget transfer and resolutions. Transfers from fund balance $309,950 to transfer out capital fund, Supply Pond Dam, $20,000. Transfer out capital fund, Parker Park, $95,000. Transfer out capital fund, Piscabook, $39,950. And from purchase services, $38,394. To technology acquisitions, $47,653. To software, $68,953, for a total of $309,950. Resolved that the RTM appropriates from the undesignated fund balance of $309,950 to various capital items and technology items. This appropriation increases the fiscal year 2020 general fund budget balance from $115,598,894 to $115,908,944. Representative Black.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. These are capital items that were requested in the upcoming budget. Rather than fund them from taxation or go into debt, the Board of Finance is recommending that we fund them from the undesignated fund balance. This includes repairs to the Supply Pond Dam, driveway for Parker Park, improvements to the north end of Pisgah Brook. There's lengthy explanations of all the projects there in the budget book. as well as IT requirements, again, in the budget book as well. Our committee heard this last Tuesday and voted in favor of this item and the resolution raising the present year's fiscal budget. And the vote by committee was 5-0, so I put that in the form of a motion.
Motion on the floor to approve this item. Is there any discussion from the RTM?
This is Representative Wells. I have a quick question.
Go ahead, Representative Wells.
Through you, what is the balance in our undesignated fund account right now?
Peter Black, Representative Black.
Yeah, I'm not sure the exact amount. Last I heard is maybe 28 million, but we're drawing it down for a number of items, and we've increased our draw for the operating budget as well. If you ask Jim Finch, he always says, "We'll wait for the audit," and then by the time the audit comes around, it's 6 months past. I don't know, maybe Representative Conklin or Representative Brocket remembers a firmer number.
It is 28 million.
Okay, thank you.
Prior to these withdrawals and prior to the budget, the 2021 budget.
Yeah, this is Representative Brocket. Representative Conklin's correct. As of the 2019 audit, which was released a very short time ago, it was 28 million prior to any of the transfers we're approving tonight.
Okay, again, just a reminder, when you speak, you must speak to, say your full name, please. Okay, any further discussion from the RTM on this? Hearing none, any discussion from the public? If not, we'll do a roll call vote on this.
Representative Adelman,
Representative Adelman, yes.
Representative Alphone,
Representative Alphone, yes.
Representative Anderson,
Representative Anderson, yes.
Representative Austin,
Representative Austin, yes.
Representative Black,
Representative Black, yes.
Representative Brocket,
Representative Brocket, yes.
Representative Conklin,
Representative Conklin, yes.
Representative Everson,
Representative Everson, yes.
Representative Erlanger,
Representative Erlanger, yes.
Representative Greenberg,
Representative Greenberg, yes.
Representative Haken,
Representative Haken, yes.
Representative Healy,
Representative Healy, yes.
Representative Henschel,
Representative Henschel, yes.
Representative Hines,
Representative Hines, yes.
Representative Ingraham,
Representative Ingraham, yes.
Representative Jackson,
Representative Jackson, yes.
Representative Leach, yes. Representative Lombardi,
Representative Lombardi, yes.
Representative Preet,
Representative Preet, yes.
Representative Ricchio,
Representative Ricchio, yes.
Representative Sember,
Representative Sember, yes.
Representative Sumro,
Representative Sumro, yes.
Representative Stepanek,
Representative Stepanek, yes.
Representative Sullivan,
This is Representative Sullivan, yes.
Representative Torelli,
Representative Torelli, yes.
Representative Toohill,
Representative Frank Toohill, yes.
Representative Wells.
Representative Wells, yes.
Okay, the vote was unanimous.
Thank you. The item carries. Dennis Flanagan. Item 15, to consider and if appropriate, approve a request from the finance director for the following budget transfer from general fund contingency transfer from contingency 50,000 to transfer out capital fund resource inventory 10,000 and to transfer out capital fund phone system 40,000 for a total of $50,000. This transfer will enable the town to implement a phone system upgrade and to allow the Conservation Commission to initiate a national resource inventory. Representative Black.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Our committee heard this item. These are transfers from current year contingency to fund some capital items. There was a lengthy explanation given by Debbie Karen, the IT director, regarding the need to upgrade the 15-year-old phone system to make it more capable, and most of all, to help the phone follow the user. The other item here is $10,000 for a resource inventory from the conservation mission. That's an optional item. We committee voted 4-1 in favor of this. I was the minority because I didn't feel the resource inventory was a necessary expense. But I'll put the committee report in the form of a motion before the full RTM.
Dennis Flanagan, or do you want to give a minority report, Representative Black?
Just that it wasn't a necessary expense. I know Representative Sullivan feels differently, but I'll leave it at that.
Okay, your motion on the floor then is to approve this item?
That is correct. That is the report and recommendation from the committee.
Okay, any Dennis Flanagan here, any comments from the RTM on this?
This is Representative George David Wells. I have a question. Do we have to vote on these as a bundle, or can we vote on these separately?
You can make a motion to amend the committee report.
Any other comments from the RTM? Any comments from the public on this? Hearing none, this will be a roll call vote.
Representative Adelman.
Representative Adelman, yes.
Representative Alphone.
Representative Alphone, yes.
Representative Anderson.
Representative Anderson, yes.
Representative Austin.
Representative Austin, yes.
Representative Black.
Representative Black, no.
Representative Brocket.
Representative Brocket, yes.
Representative Conklin.
Representative Conklin, yes.
Representative Everson.
Representative Everson, yes.
Representative Erlanger.
Representative Erlanger, yes.
Representative Flanagan.
I don't vote.
Oh, sorry, I didn't make it. I'm on a new roll call sheet here. Third one, Representative Greenberg.
Representative Greenberg, yes.
Representative Hagan.
Representative Hagan, yes.
Representative Healy.
Representative Healy, yes.
Representative Henschel.
Representative Henschel, yes.
Representative Hine.
Representative Hines, yes.
Representative Ingraham.
Representative Ingraham, yes.
Representative Jackson.
Representative Jackson, yes.
Representative Leach, yes. Representative Lombardi.
Representative Lombardi, yes.
Representative Preet.
Representative Preet, yes.
Representative Ricchio.
Representative Ricchio, yes.
Representative Sember.
Representative Sember, yes.
Representative Sires.
Representative Sires, yes. And I was a yes for the last vote. I think you just skipped my name.
I have you as yes, but thank you.
Okay.
Representative Sumro.
Representative Sumro, yes.
Representative Stepanik.
Representative Stepanik, yes.
Representative Sullivan.
Representative Sullivan, yes.
Representative Torelli.
Representative Torelli, yes.
Representative Toohill.
Representative Frank Toohill, yes.
Representative Wells.
Representative Wells, no.
Okay, we have 2 no votes. And we have, let's see, where am I here? 1, 2, 28, 26, yes.
Okay, the item passes. Dennis Flanagan here, Representative 16, item number 16, to consider and if appropriate, approve a request from the Finance Director for the following budget transfer from Fund 720, restroom trailer, $22,079, 2 Stoney Creek Dock, $22,079. Representative Black.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Ways and Means Committee heard this representative, Peter Black, Ways and Means Committee Chair. Ways and Means heard this last April 7th, and as you may recall, we allocated funds for a restroom trailer to be placed in the park at Stoney Creek by the beach. There was a contingency in there that not all those funds were used. So this is reallocating funds from those projects to replacement of the floating dock at Stoney Creek. Again, like the wharf, it's exposed to weather a great deal and needs replacement. Committee voted 5-0 in favor of this transfer. I put that in the form of a motion for the full RTM.
The motion on the floor has been seconded to approve this transfer. Is there any discussion from the RTM?
Yes, Mr. Moderator, Representative Brocket.
Go ahead, Representative Brocket.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. On behalf of Representative Conklin and myself, we thank the Finance Director for cleaning up some of the capital accounts.
Mr. Moderator, this is Representative Toohill.
Go ahead, Representative Toohill.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Just a quick update on the restroom trailers. It's really worked out very well. It was a project that the people in Stoney Creek, that they had a group that was formed. I think 20 years it took them. Finally, our first selectman, Jamie Cosgrove, finally got it through. It was a long time coming because I guess they were very popular. After we bought it, we had to wait for it to be delivered. Then it was painted with a some kind of a drawing on the on the front. But anyway, so I guess because there's 22,000 left over, that the cost of the project for the restroom trailers, I think that we appropriated 100,000 for the project. So it came in about at let's see, if it's 100 and you take away a 22, the total cost was 78,000. So anyway, it's very popular, used all the time. Anyway, okay, so thank you very much. I just wanted to mention it.
Okay, any other comments from the RTM?
Yes, Mr. Moderator, this is Representative Tracy Everson.
Go ahead, Representative
I had
Everson.
a question. The Stoney Creek dock, there are actually 4 floating docks, and I'm wondering which particular dock is going to be replaced.
I don't know. I can check the email from the town engineer, or perhaps Selectman Cosgrove knows if he's on the line now.
Mr. Moderator, this is John Heffley, town engineer.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead, John.
Sure. Yeah, this is a request through Public Works, but I'm aware of the project. This is the first dock on the left when you come down past the handicap spots. As you're coming up the ramp, it's that first dock on the left, I believe.
Okay, any further comments from members of the RTM?
Yes, I would just like to add, thank you. This is Representative Everson again. That is the float that's used by the ferry boat, which ferries people out to the islands. And that ferry district is funded through a special taxing district. So it's appreciated that this dock will be repaired because it is utilized by the taxpayers who are also islanders. Thank you.
Any further comments from the RTM on this item? Any comments from the public on this item? Hearing none, this will be a roll call vote.
Representative Adelman.
Representative Adelman, yes.
Representative Alphone.
Representative Alphone, yes.
Representative Anderson.
Representative Anderson, yes.
Representative Austin.
Representative Austin, yes.
Representative Black.
Representative Black, yes.
Representative Brocket.
Representative Brocket, yes.
Representative Conklin.
Representative Conklin, yes.
Representative Everson,
Representative Everson, yes.
Representative Erlanger,
Representative Erlanger, yes.
Representative Greenberg,
Representative Greenberg, yes.
Representative Haken,
Representative Haken, yes.
Representative Healy,
Representative Healy, yes.
Representative Henschel,
Representative Henschel, yes.
Representative Hines,
Representative Hines, yes.
Representative Ingraham,
Representative Ingraham, yes.
Representative Jackson,
Representative Jackson, yes.
Representative Leach, yes. Representative Lombardi,
Representative Lombardi, yes.
Representative Preet,
Representative Preet, yes.
Representative Ricchio,
Representative Ricchio, yes.
Representative Sember,
Representative Sember, yes.
Representative Sires,
Representative Sires, yes.
Representative Sumro,
Representative Sumro, yes.
Representative Stepanik,
Representative Stepanik, yes.
Representative Sullivan,
This is Representative Sullivan, yes.
Representative Torelli,
Representative Torelli, yes.
Representative Toohill,
Representative Toohill, yes.
Representative Wells.
Representative Wells, yes.
Unanimous.
Okay, the item passes. Item 17, to consider and if appropriate, approve a request from the finance director for the following budget transfer from Fund 700 from Parker Park Mower, 200, from DEP Long Island Study Engineering, $172, from Tabor DPW Design Engineering, $1,893, from Fire Department Exhaust Fire, $3,067, from Generators Fire, $1,531, for a total of $6,863. 2, Field Renovation Recreation, $200, Supply Pond Dam Repairs Engineering, $2,065, Cardiac Monitors Fire, $4,598, for a total of $6,863. Representative Black.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. As Representative Brocket mentioned earlier, some of us have been concerned for many years about departments coming in asking for new money when they have unexpended balances in old capital projects, old capital line items. Again, this is taking money from old or completed projects, residual balances, and allocating them toward present projects. Some of these money looks like it dates back to fiscal year 2007 for the Long Island Sound study. These aren't great amounts of money, but they can be scooped and used toward the present year to help offset expenses in the present year. So, you know, obviously the lawnmower for Parker Park cost us $200 less than we were expecting. Same thing with some of the engineering studies. The fire department, the exhaust money was actually for the old building. So that was never expended, and there were some excess in a generator for the fire department. So these are being reallocated toward field renovation in the current fiscal year and the Supply Pond Dam repairs and cardiac monitors for the current fiscal year for the fire department. Ways and Means heard this last Tuesday, recommended approval 5-0, so I put that in the form of a motion.
Motion on the floor to approve this item. Is there any discussion for members of the RTM? Hearing none, is there any discussion from the public? Hearing none, this will be a roll call vote.
Representative Adelman,
Representative Adelman, yes.
Representative Alphone,
Representative Alphone, yes.
Representative Anderson,
Representative Anderson, yes.
Representative Austin,
Representative Austin, yes.
Representative Black,
Representative Black, yes.
Representative Brocket,
Representative Brocket, yes.
Representative Conklin,
Representative Conklin, yes.
Representative Everson,
Representative Everson, yes.
Representative Erlanger,
Representative Erlanger, yes.
Representative Greenberg,
Representative Greenberg, yes.
Representative Haken,
Representative Haken, yes.
Representative Healy,
Representative Healy, yes.
Representative Henschel,
Representative Henschel, yes.
Representative Hines,
Representative Hines, yes.
Representative Ingraham,
Representative Ingraham, yes.
Representative Jackson,
Representative Jackson, yes.
Representative Leach, yes. Representative Lombardi,
Representative Lombardi, yes.
Representative Preet,
Representative Free, yes.
Representative Ricchio,
Representative Ricchio, yes.
Representative Sember,
Representative Sember, yes.
Representative Sires,
Representative Sires, yes.
Representative Sumro,
Representative Sumro, yes.
Representative Stepanik,
Representative Stepanik, yes.
Representative Sullivan,
This is Representative Sullivan, yes.
Representative Torelli,
Representative Torelli, yes.
Representative Toohill,
Representative Frank Toohill, yes.
Representative Wells.
Representative Wells, yes.
Vote is unanimous.
Okay, the item passes. Before we move on to item 18, the last item, I want to thank the clerk, Representative Leach, for outstanding job. I know it was very tough to put all these things together, but hopefully in the near future, we'll be back to normal. I wish everybody to be safe, and we'll see you at the budget meeting in May. And we'll move on to item 18. Representative Torelli, this is your time to stand out. Motion to adjourn. Echo.
Representative Torelli would like to make a motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Representative Ingraham, seconds.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.
Roll call vote.
This program was brought to you in part through the support of the Town of Brantford. Watch town meetings and other videos on demand at BrantfordTV.org.